Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Boxing Unlimited here once again, and today we'll talk about the fight between Edgar Berlanga and Hamzah Sheeraz. He's on the super middleweight champion contest, and we're going to talk about the tactics and the prediction. It's a very good matchup. Um, for Sheeraz to come up in weight to super middleweight and then take a fight with Berlanga shows a lot of confidence and a lot of class, to say the least. You know, Sheeraz, we've seen, still undefeated, has got power, and the last fight he had with Adamas is a lot of people felt they didn't win the fight, but it was called a draw, a split draw, and Berlanga, on the other hand, took a beating from Canelo when he fought Canelo. It was done in round 2. They survived, and Canelo couldn't not end the fight, or couldn't finish him, so to say. Berlanga, the question we're asking today is whether the beating he took from Canelo Everest, whether he has recovered psychologically from it. I know physically he will be okay. No doubt about that. He didn't take too many damages, but that was his first loss, and it seems to affect boxers who have who have after a long time winning spree been defeated. We do not know, but we believe that this is the best time to fight Berlanga, and we believe that that is why Hamzah Sheeraz took this fight. It's a very important fight. We've been talking about Hamzah and his height at 6'3", fighting in the middleweight division, how he makes the weight. We have always said it that it's not easy for him to make weight. I have also said in this program, I don't know in this channel, that I do not understand or know how he makes the weight. But he's shown now, and his weight has affected him, and he's shown in the fight with Adamas. Having said that, I will also want to tell you in no particular order that it's not going to be a walk in the park for both boxers. Berlanga, I believe, is overhyped, so as Hamzah as well. Hamzah Sheeraz, I believe both boxers are overhyped. I have to be honest with you. Well, I'll tell you that in no particular order in a minute. Canelo actually created a blueprint on how to beat Berlanga. He followed Berlanga all through. So for Sheeraz to have a chance today in his fight with Berlanga, he has to toe that line. No doubt in my mind about that. I have to be honest. He has to create the distance, create the space, and create the gap. Because he's the taller man, he's the bigger man. At 6'3", Berlanga is 6'1". He has the reach advantage, and if you take that into consideration and puts Berlanga on the back foot, he has to make Berlanga fight on the back foot. I know Sheeraz can fight on the front foot, he can fight on the back foot, but for him to beat Berlanga, has to be on the front foot. Take away that pressure and combination fighting from Berlanga. Once he does take that out from the system, he has a chance. And for Berlanga, on the other hand, he has to push Sheeraz into a wall. Rock him around, disrupt his system basically, make him fight your fight, and then punch the body punches, because Sheeraz is tall and his body is all over there for you to hit. The body doesn't bob, it doesn't wave, it doesn't pick a bull. It's there for you to hit always. So if Berlanga wants to win, pressure is his key. And the pressure has to be relentless. We saw what Adamas did to Sheeraz. He made Sheeraz fight on the back foot all through. But each time during the fight, if you watch the fight again, during the fight, when Sheeraz comes from the front foot, he has a success all through. So for Sheeraz to beat Berlanga, Edgar Berlanga, he has to come on the front foot. He has to disorganize the system of Berlanga. We saw Canelo do that, has to throw punches to the head, to the body. Sheeraz, we know, is a head hunter, but in this fight, if it doesn't go to the body, he will not stop that movement from and that pressure from Berlanga. Because Berlanga comes from that angle where he pressurizes you, puts you on the back foot, and throw big punches. stamps his foot on the ground and deliver right across his right on the upper side, on the top, right on the top all through. Having said that, I have to be honest with you, it's not going to be an easy fight for Sheeraz. He's moving up in weight, even though Berlanga just moved up in weight as well. But he's fought somebody as big as Canelo, and he wasn't disgraced, he wasn't knocked out. He put up a fight there, even though he took a beating. Having said that, I have to be honest with you, Hamzah to win, mark my words, he has to attack the body of Berlanga. Take away that aggressive nature of his system of fighting. That for him to win, he has to attack consistently the back body punches. I make emphasis on this because that is the way. If you watch the fight against Canelo, Berlanga, his body was all the way, the left hook to the liver, always kept him in check all through the fight. And I have to be honest with you, for Sheeraz to win this fight, the movement has to superb. He has to move from one area to another, create angles, and punch from that angle. The angle he's creating is not going to allow Berlanga hit him flush, but he can hit Berlanga flush. The timing as well, because when Berlanga is coming up, Sheeraz needs to come on the uppercut. There are so many things to be said, but the tactics here is very important, and I believe Sheeraz has a chance here if he fights in a certain way, and those certain way what we're talking about, the body punches, no head hunting, movement and the work rate has to be paramount for both boxers, though, because I'm talking in no particular order. Anybody that uses this system wins the fight between both of them. Berlanga has a chance, and he must come from the inside. He has to attack the body of Sheeraz, weaken the leg of Sheeraz so that Sheeraz will be steady, won't run around, won't be moving on his back foot as he normally moves. He has to attack the body of Sheeraz. Sheeraz's body is there. Sheeraz is a longer opponent, a longer person in this fight. So if you go to the body, you have success. And that is why we say body punches is going to slow down Sheeraz and they limit his movement, which is very important. Both boxers, as I said before, are overhyped for all intents and purposes, to be honest with you. But I believe Hamzah Sheeraz has a way. I believe he has the style. If he fights in a certain way to beat Edgar Berlanga. Berlanga from Puerto Rico is a very good boxer, but it depends on the level he's been fighting on. What are the level of the knockouts? He's had more than over 16 round one knockouts in his CV, but those names are not names you can compare with boxers on the top 10 list. I believe in this fight, Sheeraz wins by decision. It's going to be a tug of war, to be honest with you. But Sheeraz will have the day if he fights in a certain way. If he can nullify the pressure and the punches and the punches that the Berlanga throws. If you can also take a sting out of them, all the punches he throws, do not let them land flush on you. Attack the body of Berlanga, slow him down, put him on the back foot. For Berlanga, he has to come from the inside because he's a shorter man in this fight. Attack the body, come over to the head, show angles, punch from angles, punch, timing. Timing again is very important because for Sheeraz, Berlanga is going to come from the inside, and for him to come from the inside, he has to go low. And Sheeraz has this right uppercut that is very good, and he's got power in his punches, he's got venom in his punches. He has to use them to the maximum if he wants to win. Our time is up here, and we believe Sheeraz wins by decision, and this is it. In the matter of here, do subscribe to this channel to make this channel grow. It's important to grow. It's important to be able to bring commentaries to you. Do have a nice day and God bless. Anyway, bye.